Well, let's bring in Palestine Solidarity Campaign spokesperson Usuf Chikte to unpack the developments in the Israel-Hamas conflict and solidarity protests. A very good afternoon to you, Usuf. Thank you for your time with us here on the SABC.
Yeah, thank you. It is not a conflict. It is not a war. It's cold-blooded murder. It's a genocide that is taking place, and it's unfolding with greater concern to the rest of the world. And the fact that this genocide is aided and abetted by the United States, by the UK, and by the European Union, who are accustomed to do this in the colonies of Africa and recently in Iraq and Libya and Afghanistan and in Syria also. So we mustn't be shocked by these people doing this. What we need to do is immediately call for a ceasefire, provide humanitarian aid to the Palestinians, and to ensure that the Palestinians are provided with UN protection against the horrors of this attacks on them happening in broad daylight. So that is what we're asking for: an immediate ceasefire, for a humanitarian aid, and for UN protection. The other thing that we are saying is that we must, in South Africa, we require, I just received, just before you spoke to me, I just received an urgent message from a professor in Gaza who asked us to urgently approach our elected officials, demanding the acknowledging that it is a genocide, and demanding that we provide them with UN protection and that there be a ceasefire. It's shocking that the world doesn't, the European Union and the UK and the USA are not calling for a ceasefire. In fact, they are egging it on. But we're still, in South Africa, we have organizations like the Zionist networks, like the Democratic Party, like the ACDP, and like COPE, who are being put on notice for being accessories to genocide. And we must act using our laws in this country to hold them accountable and to report them to the International Criminal Court. This is an urgent matter. This cannot be delayed. And so we call on everybody to support the just cause of the Palestinians as they face this inhumane, indescribable, unheard of atrocity happening in our, we're witnessing as it is happening, and we're asking our President Cyril Ramaphosa, to come out more than just with words, but to ensure that we address the genocide that is taking place over there, and to deal with the South Africans who go to the Israeli army to support this genocide. Israel's intention is to cleanse the area of Palestinians, to drive them into the sea, to drive them into Egypt, and to drive them out of their native lands. And this is ethnic cleansing at its best, and genocide at its worst in terms of the manner in which they're doing it. They spoke about hospitals. How can doctors abandon their patients on dialysis, infants in incubators, people in ICU? How do people like this move across from the north to the south? The WHO said it's an impossible task. It's a death sentence. They said it's a death sentence. The Israeli government, supported by the local Zionist network and COPE and DA and the ACDP and all the other parties that support them, should be put on notice for war crimes in South Africa, and we must act immediately on that. We must go in our thousands to their officers and ask them to stop it. The NPA must immediately ensure that they do not commit these crimes on South African soil.
Usuf, thank you for those sentiments. You've now spoken about the need for a ceasefire, humanitarian assistance, also how it's framed. You're calling it a genocide as well. And so, in lieu of the massive outcries the world over, countries, organizations that have stood in solidarity, the ANC itself pledging solidarity to Palestine, At this point, do you foresee a truce on the cards? What is the reality of a two-state solution if we are going to look at the way forward at this point? How do you envision it?
Apartheid Israel is not only killing Palestinians, that they've killed any and every peaceful solution. They've killed the two-state solution a long time already with the settlements that they've put on, which makes a two-state solution unviable. So I don't see any, there's no prospect of a two-state solution, a contiguous entity because they've taken up most of the land also, already. They've balkanized the area. They've dotted the place full of little Bantustan-like group areas, kinds of activity, locations, and it just won't work. We need the Palestinians. They must listen to what the Palestinians want. And the Palestinians want peace, justice, and equality. They want self-determination. They want the abolition of settler colonialism and the dismantling of apartheid, which is the root cause of the war that is taking place in over there at the moment. And remember, one of the horribly, one of the members of Knesset suggested that Israel uses its nuclear bombs to get rid of the Palestinians once and for all.
Usuf Chikte, we'll leave that conversation there. Thank you. Thank you for your time with us on the SABC and for those sentiments. Of course, Usuf Chikte is the Palestine Solidarity Campaign spokesperson, weighing in as we look at the developments regarding the Israel-Hamas conflict that's currently underway.